if I told you you can pay $50,000 for a brand newly constructed home and have it delivered to you and set up in literally an hour? Well, introducing the Boxabl Casita. It is a 375 square foot home for $50,000. And it's pretty awesome. And Boxabl's mission is to simply solve the home affordability crisis in the United States and probably nationally. There's nothing really for 50, 60, even 100K anymore that's not a total rehab project. So this is a really wide open market, and they are taking full advantage of it in the best and coolest way and most adorable way possible. There was a waiting list of over 150,000 people to get their hands on the Boxabl Casita, including myself. I love it, I'm obsessed with it, it's adorable, and I know everything about it, and I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. My name is Greyson Roberts, a realtor in the greater Springfield, Missouri area. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest anywhere nationally in the United States, I can help you with that. Call or text anytime, 417-501-4660, or you can email me if that's more your speed. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have in real estate, the market, moving to my area or anywhere else. Maybe you need a real estate agent in your neighborhood. And of course, if you have any questions about the Boxabl Casita, I'd be more than happy to answer those as well. Boss Properties is your one-stop shop for real estate sales, education, and entertainment. I hope that you would stick around and subscribe, and let's talk about this awesome $50,000 tiny home. So I can't even remember how I came across the Boxabl Casita, but the second I did, I became obsessed with it. And I've seen celebrities like FaZe Rug. Don't know who that is, but I saw him on the Instagram, and Elon Musk. I even saw Kanye West all endorsing the Boxabl Casita, and they actually have a really, really good marketing campaign going on right now, and they're trying to, raise funds and draw up attention, and they're doing a great job, not only because they're attacking a wide open market, but they're doing it in a super cool way. Now, let's get into it, but first things first, this video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. It is sponsored by Webull, of course, but I'm not even invested in Boxabl. I have zero ties. They're not paying me to say this, and I can't emphasize enough, even though they are trying to raise investments, I am not invested in Boxabl. And we'll talk about that at the end of the video, different investment opportunities, for buying it or investing in the company or both. But I have absolutely zero financial ties to hyping this house up. I've never set foot in one, but I've done about as much research as anybody could do on it, and I love it. I wonder how my green fidget spinner will look on the green screen. And like I said, Boxabl is trying to solve the home affordability crisis. And well, it's basically like the equivalent of owning your own studio apartment. That's essentially what it is. It's 375 square foot, and it's basically just a studio apartment. Except at $50,000 a month in today's market, depending on where you live, the monthly cost of ownership could be less. Not to mention you're actually building equity in an asset that you own. So not only could you get a much nicer and more modern studio, but you don't have any neighbors, you can put it wherever you want, so location is completely up to you, and it could be actually cheaper to own while you build your equity. But there are some downsides, like there are no storage closets or even a closed closet. I mean, there is storage in there, but it's basically meant for one person who owns basically nothing and maybe a second person, but we're gonna talk about kind of the uses in a little bit. And the company has kind of advertised a $50,000 price range, but we're going to talk about, again, towards the end, the price and availability, because I actually talked personally with a representative from Boxabl, and all of that stuff's coming up. Let's go through the actual details of the property. Full kitchen. The Boxabl Casita has a full kitchen. This comes with a full-size fridge, an oven, a microwave. I mean, I've seen a lot of apartments that do not come with microwaves. And I've seen many homes that when you buy them, do not come with a fridge. This comes with a microwave and a fridge. The appliances alone, all stainless steel and brand new, I mean, those alone would cost a decent chunk of change. You also have a window overlooking the sink, just like in a regular home. And in fact, the home that I am in right now, I don't have a window overlooking the sink, which sucks. The Boxabl Casita does have it. Also, it has a built-in kind of bar, floating island dining table kind of thing. So you don't need to go buy a small table. That just lowers the cost of ownership as well, because tables can be expensive. Just buy a couple, cheap little chairs that you can get almost free on Facebook Marketplace, and you have a place for 2 people to eat dinner built in to your Boxabl Casita. So as far as the kitchen goes, including the cabinet space, I'm very, very impressed with the kitchen. This is a much nicer kitchen than even the apartment, the high-end apartment I was paying $1,200 a month for. It didn't have as nice of a kitchen as this Boxabl Casita. Now let's move on to the bathroom, which is another very impressive part of this. And in fact, I'm not sure how they made it look so good for the price, but they're following their mission of solving home affordability. So the bathroom is basically a full bathroom, including a walk-in shower, which also looks very nice. You get a glass sliding barn door, a feature that most homeowners that own, even $500,000 homes, they would love a barn door. It's it's high, it looks good, there's glass through it. But it's kind of frosted glass, so obviously you can't see boobies and stuff if you have guests over. But the bathroom is really cool. Obviously the walk-in shower, the sliding glass barn door, but you have the backlit LED mirror, which is really cool in another window. So you have lots of natural lighting for makeup or doing whatever you want to do in front of the mirror. Just a super cool feature. And it also has a vessel sink. And if you don't know what a vessel sink is, it's simply just a sink that sits on top of the counter instead of in the counter that everything else does. I call it a floating sink. I'm a real estate professional, I'm a real estate agent, and I still call it a floating sink, whatever. But it's basically what it is. It's super in demand, and a lot of high-end modern homes do have that feature. So it's nice to see in a $50,000 home. So yeah, the bathroom and the kitchen, both, in my opinion, for the price range and the situation, 10 out of 10. Now let's move into the living room. And first things first, it comes with a washer and dryer, more appliances. I paid $1,200 for the cheapest, absolute cheapest washer and dryer combo I could get my hands on at Lowe's. And still, this is a great value. Now, the living room is most of where you would spend your time, and it's kind of split between living room and a bed. And it looks like in the advertising, you could get a full-size queen or even a king because there's plenty of room, and it is 375 square foot. Now, it does come with this kind of entertainment double-sided center with storage cabinets on both sides. You could put a TV on one side. You could even put a TV on the other side so you can watch TV from your bed and TV from the couch. Basically, it's a nice open area. You can have a full-size couch, a flat screen TV, and I just love the kind of built-in divider storage cabinets. And there's not a whole lot to say about the living room, but it does have, 8-foot high doors, it has oversized doors and windows. It also has the modern wood floorings that a lot of new home construction is actually using, and of course the washer and dryer, which is a massive plus. You also get the high-end can light LED energy efficient bulbs, which is a major plus, and there are lots of windows in this, and if you don't know, windows are not cheap, and it lets in a ton of natural light pouring into this little space, so you don't even really need to use the overhead lights that much unless it's nighttime, but we'll talk about that in the utility costs later. Okay, I lied. We're going to talk about utilities right now. So the Boxabl Casita, the company kind of emphasizes its build quality and how strong it is. And in fact, you can see right here a video of them dropping cars on top of the home to kind of prove that it's very structurally sound. That was one of the major concerns I had. It's like, well, I don't want to feel like I'm living in a cardboard box that one decent gust of wind would just take me to the next state. You know what I mean? I don't want to be I started calling them the time travelers until I saw them dropping cars on top of it. So with the high construction quality, not only is it structurally sound, but the insulation is top notch, which means that heating and cooling that tiny 375 square foot space is going to be extremely energy efficient. So your utilities are going to be next to nothing, including the overhead can LED lights, which are also more energy efficient. And like I said, you won't really need to use that much overhead lighting simply because of all the natural light pouring in through the windows, the oversized windows, mind you. So the energy and utility costs are going to be extremely low. Now let's talk about delivery. You buy it online and the Boxabl Casita will be delivered to you and set up in an hour. It kind of assembles like a puzzle. You're not going to do it, of course. The delivery workers will do it for you. But I mean, just look at how this thing gets put together. It's so cool to deliver it to wherever you want. And I'm obsessed. So let's talk about price and availability. And this is where I had to get some personal questions answered from a representative from Boxabl. So here was what I asked. I said, how much does it cost? Because at first it was being advertised at $50,000. But the representative from Boxabl told me that The most recent orders, pre-orders, are basically around $60,000 due to demand. Now, I don't imagine it's actually going to rise that much more past $60,000 because their entire company mission is to solve the home affordability crisis. So if they become unaffordable for what they really are, then that doesn't solve anything. So they went from 50K to 60K. That's not really being advertised, but that is what the representative told me, and I appreciate the honesty. Also, I said, okay, great. I still think a good price, $60,000. Thank you for that. But when can I get my hands on one? And they told me that this is how I found out there's 150,000 people in line. They said, well, there's 150,000 people in line and more joining every single day. And I am one of them. So we don't exactly have an ETA on when these are going to roll out, which is really disappointing. I was hoping for a hard date that I could tell you in this video, but nobody at Boxabl really has a straight answer, so they're still trying to figure that out. And that leads me to the next point, where they're trying to aggressively raise funds via accredited investors. So basically, they're really pushing investing in Boxabl. So I think that they probably don't have the money. They just straight up don't have the money to produce $150,000 homes, especially not in a timely manner. So I think that is another kind of problem that they're having. I don't know for sure. The representative didn't say this specifically, but just from someone who's been a business owner and in real estate for a long time, that's probably what's going on. Now let's continue talking about investing. This may change the world of investing because personally, the reason I want one is to plop it somewhere cool, maybe lease or buy a cool plot of land, put it, maybe next to a lake or kind of in a beach town or in the woods or something cool, dress it up, theme it out, and rent it out on Airbnb. Because keep in mind, tiny homes is a massive movement right now. So people are really looking to not necessarily live in tiny homes, but experience them, including myself. I would love to stay a couple nights in an Airbnb tiny home. Now, especially if you decorate it and theme it up and make it look cool, because essentially it's a blank canvas, and put it somewhere cool, you could really do very well on Airbnb. And who knows, maybe we'll see a bunch of developers buying land and then subsectioning it out and selling it off, and you have a subdivision of tiny Boxabl homes. That could be another awesome opportunity. So there are lots of investment opportunities with Boxabl when it comes to investing in real estate or simply investing in the company. But overall, Boxabl is a super awesome, super interesting company. Now, I don't know, the reason that I didn't pre-order, or the reason that I didn't put a deposit down, and the reason I'm going to tell you that I wouldn't necessarily do that, is because we've seen lots of startups get all this hype, have this awesome overpromise, and then they run out of funds, can't deliver orders, and go bankrupt, and just the whole operation goes bust. We've seen that many times from promising startups, so I am not putting any money in it whatsoever. I don't recommend you put any skin in the game, but it's something to definitely keep your eye on. And the second I can either get my hands on one, tour one, or get more information and keep up to date with price changes and availability updates, definitely hit that like and subscribe button, because I will keep you updated. I really enjoy these tiny home videos. I just made one about the $8,000 tiny home you can get on Amazon. So if that's something you're interested in, hit that like and subscribe button. I like to review luxury and interesting properties. So if that's your cup of tea, stick around, get the free money with Webull, and I will see you in the next real estate video.